Greetings from Nyali Capital Limited. My name is Wanjiku Ambogo. I'm the founder and CEO of Nyali Capital. We are known for financing, so for credit facilities, the women, the youth, persons with disability. We have a number of loan products for you, ranging from LPO financing, biashara loans through groups, emergency loans through groups, including asset financing through groups.
Could you share a little bit of insight into what exactly the apprenticeship cohort for this year looks like?
The apprenticeship program that we are running at Nyali Capital is pretty new. Started this year, 2024, where we are taking in Form 4 leavers and kids who've gone through the international system after finishing maybe their year 11 or their year 13 to come and work behind our officers as they learn what we do. And the motivation for us to run this apprenticeship program is that from my many years of experience in business, spanning to 11 years now, the employees that I've taken in who probably after Form 4 worked in a business, either in their family business, a neighbor's business, they forever made very good employees as far as I'm concerned. At the same time, these are children who are in a way haven't been corrupted in any way, and whatever they are able to learn today, they learn from a clean mind, and they're also very flexible. They can take in so much. We are doing it differently because we are not just giving them little works to do, but getting into the field, interacting with our clients and experiencing them from that point. It's different from maybe what you think that maybe they'll come in and do photocopy, run errands and so on, but they're interacting from the client, identifying client needs, participating in business meetings, interacting with the staff, interacting with the supervisors, and then that way they understand the whole line of business and how everything gets to plug together.
What are your objectives behind this very first cohort, and how far are you in achieving those objectives?
My objectives, without necessarily overthinking it, is that we can, as employers and entrepreneurs, SMEs, can participate in molding the kind of employees or even would-be entrepreneurs or partners in our businesses the way we want. And this is coming away from what they go into the universities and learn. And by the time they are joining our offices and our businesses, we kind of wonder how the education that they got aligns with what we do, which many times gets to clash. And I thought I probably could be able to offer a solution so that by the time these children are joining the universities or TVETs, for instance, they kind of understand our objectives as a business. At first, we interact with our clients, they got to get to know the client's needs, how everything just gets connected away from the books and the theories probably that they learn. Number two, because now we can easily work online, unlike before. I remember our time we did have to go to the universities where the laptop was a requirement. But today, joining university, our parents have to buy laptops for their children. So it means that these kids can also take home or take to the university some of the work that we do, and they continue to work for us. So I'm hoping through this first cohort and the interest I've seen these two guys have, I have Tecla and I have Eddie, could be able to take on some of the work here that we do online and be able to continue with it. The other bit that is an objective is that we're trying to get skilled labor that task-oriented people or employees That it's really not the number of hours that you sit in the office or the time that you took to come to the office, go home. Like that is really part of work. And this is their generation. So that they have acquired skills that they can use anywhere, and that they can also use that same skill to earn. So they don't even have to work for me. They could easily work for other organizations because they already have a skill and they have delivered before, showing the results. So I think that's also one of my objectives, where I hope that we'll be able to have employees who can work and not continue with training. I think we've been training for such a long time. We train them up to class 8, we train them up to form 4, we train them up to university 4 years, then they come at work, we still train them. So I think the training at work early enough, we start that training that we don't have to wait too long to train after the university, when they're also feeling that maybe this is too easy, and sometimes it's never that easy.
Is this something you intend to do frequently?
I'm really excited that I could do this. And as I said earlier, I didn't overthink it. How I got Tecla to work with me wasn't really overthought. And we just started a relationship to work together. How I got Eddie to work, it was also, again, not too much thinking into it. He found himself out of school for some time, stayed in Nairobi for some time, but when he got to Mombasa, I knew I had something to do and they were willing to work. And so the beginning, just like any entrepreneur would say, the hardest thing is in starting. But for us entrepreneurs, I think we are good at starting. So we started. So Tecla started in June, with Eddie started in July. I intend, there are 2 this year. I intend to be doing this, to have at least 2 of them every year, maybe twice a year. The plan is to continue with this program until I can be able to release like maybe 4 in a year, 4 in a year, 4 every year. And if all of us can be able to do that, SMEs, we can have them and bring them. I mean, once they are skilled, they get out there. You get yours out, I get mine out. And the whole ecosystem of the people who work for us will be having skilled labor, people you've connected with, people who understand what business is all about. And I think that is the reason why I'm not going to stop this. I want to be working with them. They are really easy to work with, and it's also affordable as well.
What advice would you offer the youth, both those in secondary and tertiary education, for entering a job market such as this one, and why an experience such as this is very important?
Well, if the youth are not doing what we are doing or doing some work with themselves or for themselves, they're probably at home watching Netflix. And sometimes I wonder if the number of hours that maybe we are putting in to watch the movies, we are getting paid for it. And actually, that's my issue. I wish we sat there, watch for like 2 hours, then you can charge for the 2 hours or 3 hours or 4 hours that we watched. Unfortunately, that's not the case. And so if you can be able to use that same hours to gather a skill, and these entrepreneurs, these SMEs are all over. They're probably in your estates. They are just youth. They are friends of your parents. I mean, they are there. So for us as youth, let's get further to understand what is happening in these offices, and beyond the offices, what is that brings money to what we call businesses. When I look at the experiences that this first cohort has, is that one of reality, the spaces they have to go, the experiences they are having, including even a mode of transport sometimes that they have to use, which maybe wasn't very popular with them. That's the real world. And I think let's have our youth have the thirst to experience the real world. I keep saying that money is massaged, it doesn't really come easily. You've got to do a lot. People who we find very successful, they just didn't start where success is. They did a lot of toiling. So we are inviting the youth, you guys who are finishing for 4, don't just sit at home. Just try to find out who can give you something to do. And it will go a long way again when you join universities and in your later life, to be able even to put that experience in your CV. And you'll use it for a long time, and it makes a whole difference, because when you did then you share what you did in activities. When you haven't done, it becomes very hard. So let's start early so that when you're asked whether you have experience that's mostly needed, then you already acquired it a long time ago. And it's a really sweet story to share when you can say, I was visiting groups, I had women groups that I was meeting from time to time. This is how we start. We start with prayers, then we go to the objectives of the day. We finish if we are collecting money, if we're saving. If there is no other agenda, then we pray and we go home. If there is more, then the officer is, they have a real experience on what happens when it comes even to group dynamics. So we are inviting the youth to be able to be able to go out there, whether your parents, whether your guardians. And I also think this is the same message that I would like to give to our parents, that let's not get comfortable when children just sit at home after they have finished school. We have networks, I'm sure. You just need to speak to one person, the next person. And at the end of the day, you find your children get busy. And I think when the children are busy, our parents are also happy.
Hello everyone, my name is Eddie and Tecla. I'm 17 years old and I've just completed my IGCSEs.
So Eddie, what made you want to work at Nyali Capital?
My mother saw that I was bored and had nothing to do at home. Hence, she suggested that I start working for her. And I did, and I'm grateful I took that choice.
Please run me through a typical day here at Nyali Capital.
So I arrive work at around 8 a.m. Then we have our morning meeting where we discuss the goals for the day. So what are we trying to do? How many groups are we attending? And then midway through the week, we could be asked by the manager how close we are to achieving our week's targets. Yeah, that's basically what usually happens during the morning meeting. So that morning meeting, we head out to the groups. So the morning groups usually start around 9:30, 10. In a day, we can attend upwards to 4 groups. So maybe at 9:30 we attend one, at 11:30 we attend another, at 12:30 or 1 we start another, and then at 3 or 2 we go for another. So that's how my day usually goes. And then if I have time, I come back to the office to complete some office work that I may have to do. Then 5 usually finds me on my way home or in my house if I'm lucky.
So you mentioned something about the groups. Could you say what exactly you do within those groups when you arrive?
So my work is, because I'm very new to it, my work was not a lot in the groups. I mainly used to do surveys, or I mainly do surveys. So whenever we give a member of a group a loan, we usually ask them a few questions once they're done paying it back. And these questions revolve around what they use the loan for and how the loan may have helped them, their satisfaction with the process, and what you can do as an institution to better their experience with us. So this information that I usually garner helps the business improve itself, and I'm always glad to be a part of that process.
Nice. Also in the same groups, would you like to share maybe in particular out of all the groups you visited, which one really stuck out to you or was your favorite?
I don't want to show any favoritism. Imagine they watch these videos and then they find out that I'm not their favorite. They're not my favorite. That could be very tragic.
Maybe one thing you may have learned from the groups, maybe something you picked up from each group?
The groups, some of them have a lot of banter. There's a group where my first time meeting them, they're actually very close, but the insults they throw at each other are truly spectacular. Yeah, and I found that very funny.
Nice. Moving on, could you share one of your most memorable or funny experience while working here at Nyali Capital?
Fell on a motorbike once. We were heading to a group. The road was bad because, the things we do to make sure these women get access to finance. So of course the road was bad. We hit a rock and we found ourselves capsized on the ground in front of a secondary school. It was truly embarrassing. Some are laughing at you, some are fake apologizing, and you're just there trying to get the dust off your clothing. So yeah.
Eddie, could you share a little bit about the challenges you faced while being an intern here at Nyali Capital?
The people in Nyali Capital, the customers in Nyali Capital target are your common mama boga, your guy who owns the duka, kiosk guy, this kind of people, and their language of business is Swahili. So for me to better communicate to them, I need to speak Swahili. However, Swahili has proved to be a very difficult language for me. I've gotten better, of course, naturally by continued interaction with these people. I mean, it's as the saying goes, iron sharpens iron. We sharpened them with access to finance. They sharpened me with better speaking in Swahili.
What's the next challenge?
My other challenge was I wasn't being paid. If you told 15-year-old me you'd work 2 years from now for free for Nyali Capital, I'd probably laugh you out saying I'd never accept any post without pay. Well, things have changed. Of course, the job is still tiring. Of course, if I was being paid, life would have been spectacular. But as you begin to grow white hair and age, you begin to realize that not everything is needed for money, and other things you need to experience just because going through these experiences makes you a better person and helps you understand or broaden your worldview.
Lastly, now that you're leaving, what are the key takeaways and learning points for this program that you've just done? And would you suggest it for someone else who's probably in the same position as you in their education?
Suggesting it, I'd definitely suggest it. It's a good head start. You see, when you learn these things, even before you go to university, you have an easier way to get into actually working and getting a job because you already have some experience you built over the 2 months, 3 months that you spent working here at Nyali Capital. My key takeaways: number one, I believe I've left this place a more humble person. I've been able to experience some truly grueling. I've gone through some pretty grueling experiences, including the hot Mombasa sun that I thought I'd never have to experience because I had to drive everywhere. And also, I've learned how these people actually struggle to try and actually get this finance, because this finance actually genuinely offers them help. To the people I interact with normally, 40,000 is usually a normal amount of money. But for these people, giving them a loan of 40,000 is truly life-changing money for them. And for me, that has improved or broadened my worldview. Yeah.
Hello everyone, my name is Tecla Mbovoli. I am a Cohort 1 here at Nyali Capital. I'm 18 years old.
So Tecla, what made you want to work at Nyali Capital?
What made me want to work at Nyali Capital to gain skills? First of all, I am currently done with Form 4, so I'm joining. I have applied to JKUAT University, Jomo Kenyatta University. Going to do Bachelor of Commerce and in finance, and whatever I'm going to do there relates with whatever I am doing here at Nyali Capital. So I am here to gain experience and a bit more skills so that I can relate it to the studies that I'm going to undertake.
Could you please run me through a typical day here at Nyali Capital?
Okay, a typical day for me here at Nyali Capital. I arrive at work around 8. We have our morning meeting where we discuss the business plan, the plan for the day for every colleague of mine, and we also discuss about the challenges that maybe we face, and we get to know how to assist each other. And yeah, after the morning meeting, whatever I am to do today, I've already planned I've already planned for it yesterday. So I look at my plan for the day. I have several tasks that I'm supposed to undertake here at Nyali Capital. That is doing posting of collection sheets, disbursement of checklist, initiating of loans. I also do intakes for the new members, the new clients that we have here at Nyali Capital. So once I have looked at my plan for the day, I start with the posting of collection sheets. Then I go to disbursement of checklist. After that, I do the initiating of the new members. And then after that, there's also initiating of the loans that are to be given on that specific day.
Could you please share a memorable experience you had while working here at Nyali Capital?
So, a memorable experience for me here at Nyali Capital. I went to a group. Okay, for us, our job is to visit groups, yeah? So I went to a group whereby there's a client of ours who was not well conversant with Swahili. Alikuwa anajua more of Giriama than Swahili. So, and my colleague did not know Giriama. She was not at all conversant with Giriama. So I had to chip in and speak Giriama for the client to understand whatever we were trying to say. So kutoka hapo we were able to provide finances to the woman, to the client, by speaking that Giriama. I'd imagined if I was not there would be kind of it would be difficult for my colleague to understand the woman because she was speaking more of Giriama than Swahili. Sasa kutoka after all that happened, the client was very happy that I was able to communicate to her with a language she understands. So that was what made me happy. Making our clients happy makes me happy. Yes.
Could you share a little bit about the challenges you faced as working as an intern here at Nyali Capital?
Okay, so our work here mainly is group lending. So once we have done group lending, kuna zile installments huwa zinalipwa, kwa zile pesa huwa zinalipwa sasa kurudisha sasa the loans. So that's where my work comes in. Naangalia zile pesa zenye zimelipwa kama ndio hizo kweli zimeingia kwa kampuni yetu, and kama si hizo we go back to the officer. We have a chat to see whether there is a problem that has occurred, or maybe it's on our side that we have done maybe the wrong calculation. So sasa tunafanya correction. After sasa everything now is okay. After now everything, the transactions, kila kitu kenye kiko kwa M-Pesa kiko sawa. Mimi sasa I go, kila kitu siku hizi ni online. So now I go, I input naeka zile pesa zenye zimetumwa sasa kwa system. Ndo I update the system according to what the clients have paid. Sasa hapo ndo shida yangu kufanya correction and to ensure that indeed chenye kimelipwa na customers ndo chenye kiko kwa kampuni.
Could you share a little bit about your key takeaways from your entire internship, and would you suggest this for someone else who's in the same position as you?
Key takeaways from my internship nimeweza kujua kuongea na watu. Unajua how to converse with people. It's also a skill you need to learn. So ukitoka uko nje, when I'm going to groups, I know how to approach someone in a way that yeye ataelewa chenye nasema. So that has been something that I have learned, that I have been able to understand. Pia kitu ingine ni about M-Pesa. There are a lot of things that I didn't know that are done by M-Pesa. Kuna vitu mingi sana kwa system hii kampuni nimekuja kujulia huku. So I have learned a lot about what M-Pesa actually does, how to get funds zenye zimekuwa zikilipwa, venye nitazifuatilia. Kuna vitu tu mingi nimekuja kulearn kuhusu system kwa kampuni ya M-Pesa. Kitu kingine nimeweza kulearn ni kuhandle conflict. Kwa hizi groups kuna kukosana pia, watu kukosana. So you as the leader there unafaa kujua ni kuhandle venye, like kama watu kwa group wote wako na hasira, you have to know how to handle them, ndo warudi watulie kwanza, ndo sasa usolve chenye kinaendelea hapo. So a big takeaway for me has been how to handle conflicts kwa groups. So that's, I would really advise people to join this program, because you are able to learn a lot. Hata mimi nimejua new places sikuwa najua. Just sana I used to stay at home, so I have been able to know new places. I've been able to know how to communicate with people, how to handle conflicts. Hata sasa nikabebo hapa niende ni handle conflicts. I know how to approach it in a different situation that will actually come to the right conclusion. Kitu ingine pia I would recommend, the reason I would recommend people to join this program is that you're able to, unaweza kurelate chenye umesoma na what is actually on the ground. So I've been able to, I'm going to do a Bachelor of Commerce. So whatever I learn here, I can relate it to what I am going to be studying. Yes, I'm going to be studying finance. So yeah, and also it helps you to be busy. Yeah, an idle mind is a devil's workshop. So I am always looking forward to starting a new day here at Nyali Capital. Yeah, because it keeps me busy, so I don't just stay idle at home. Yeah.
Hello, I'm Victoria Nyega. I work at Nyali Capital as Business Development Manager. I've been working with Tecla in Henry, and now it's almost 2 months, and it has been quite an enjoyable moment working with them. So there are a few challenges here and there that we keep on progressively working on them.
So, you mentioned something about challenges. Could you expand a little bit about what challenges you faced working with either of them?
Well, definitely while working with others, there is always a small challenge here and there, like adapting to the environment, adapting to the situation. Like one situation I remember when I first engaged them, and we went to a group meeting. It was quite funny that day, because when we went to the meeting, we were given some chairs. And then at that point, I expected them to understand that we're in front of the people and they're supposed to sit upright, but one of them decided to sit with their feet on the chair. So now the clients now are watching me and wondering what is not happening. So I had to react very fast. So I had to pinch one of them, so that now we can be on the same page. Then as we were progressing in the meeting, another one started now using the phone in front of the clients. So I had to be a little bit tactical, and I had to engage the other one on the same.
What skills do you believe you've implanted in each of them as future employees?
Well, by now, for example, maybe individually, if you look at somebody like Tecla, it has been a process, and starting with the concept of being professional, you find that maybe the way they have been at home and not exposed to any working environment, you have to shape to professionalism. And then again, you find that in some instance, they also need to, they're not used to continuous working environment. So you have to make them to adopt to that working environment. Like now, the aspect of finance requires a lot of accuracy. So at the start point, you may find someone is not very keen, but as we progress, they face several challenges. And by the end of it, within a few weeks, that person is able to do your work in a very accurate way. So it's kind of acquiring all these skills is a progress. On the side of Eddie, he has been purely in the field. So the kind of feedback you get from the customers is not even the way they started. Like now, the Swahili language was a challenge. So even the other colleagues would come back and say, "Hey, Eddie, we need to adjust to Swahili. We need to be a little bit, not too much of. We need to go back to being local and not up there." So through that, you see through hard work and engaging him and ensuring that you're speaking Swahili all the time, and making him face the customers. It has developed that skills of interacting with others. Also, you find like in some situations whereby the officer is very busy at times. At times, the officer may not even may be having a challenge in one group, and he has to be sent to the other group. So he is able to coordinate the group and even get the payment. Even when there is challenges in the payment, he is able to make the customers concurrently and contribute the money. We call it kuchanga, which is it's the most hard bit in officer in credit. So it has grown them to a level that I would say they are not the same the way they came in. So I have quite great expectations. I believe that if they are faced in any working environment, they'll be able to adjust, and they will also be able to deliver even.
How have you helped them grow as individuals, and how have they helped you grow as well?
Well, as individuals, definitely there is so much that they learn, and their major way of learning is through observation, which they have achieved a lot. Like even the aspect of someone coming very early in the morning to work, it's a change that they were not used to. Even the exposure to the working environment and being asked to do something and following instruction, something that you acquire not regularly. Being given a task and completing the task thereafter. Like now, I used to have challenges when posting, but when they came in, to me now it's no longer an issue. It's the workflow is moving very fast. So through them, I believe they have impacted that data entry skills. They are okay now. We also had an issue with minutes lighting in the morning during the meetings, and we are receiving the minutes clear minutes. We don't struggle anymore. Also, you find that in terms of accuracy, like with Tecla, when she came in, you will find everything in the desk, placed everywhere. But nowadays, you find she's so keen. She has the system of filing. She knows after completing her task, she has to file. So those are different ways. Yes, I believe they have achieved a lot. For me personally, I would say it's quite an experience. Working with a young person, it's not easy. You don't know when to push, when not to push. At times we are used to delivery. We are used to full delivery, people working, and what you want is achievement. But now on this side, you have to go slow. You have to like adapt what they can offer, and also at the same time push a little bit. So I've learned the act of patience, which was not in me, and dealing with them, and also facing that challenge of encouraging someone to push on, wanting your tasks to be completed on time, and you have to make that person do it. It's a managerial concept that they have helped me to acquire. Sometimes also small conflicts that arise and they want you to give them answers. You have to give them answers, that engagement. And also I love the way they challenge you. We are from different education systems. So sometimes you give them the answer. Somebody's like, why? They want to get to know the answers and they want to get deep. So you have to sometimes to explain in a way that they can understand. So even in my own expression and also further dealing with people, it's something that I would say it's an improvement on my side. Allow me to take this opportunity to thank Eddie and Tecla for giving me that opportunity to work with them. And I'm looking forward to us working with more apprentices in future, and to engage more people and to get to understand more people and also to develop myself.